Hello, everyone. It's me, Mrs. Gronnert, and today we're going to read the story Little Red Butterfly and the Big Bad Spider, written by Mrs. Gronnert and illustrated by Elsie Gronnert. Once upon a time, there was a little butterfly. The butterfly had beautiful red wings. Because of her beautiful red wings, everyone called her Little Red. Little Red was sweet and kind to everyone she met, and everyone loved Little Red. Little Red's grandmother loved her most of all. One afternoon, Little Red's mother said, "Little Red, your grandmother is sick. Today, I need you to go through the forest and take these delicious nectar cupcakes and lemonade to your grandmother. Do not stop along the way and do not talk to strangers." "I will take the cakes and lemonade to grandmother," said Little Red, and that is just what she did. Little Red began walking outside on the path to her grandmother's house. The sunshine was shining through the trees along the forest path. Little Red did not know that there was danger in the forest. All of a sudden, a spider creeped up behind her. "Good day, Little Red," said the spider, thinking what a delicious meal the little red butterfly would make. "How are you today?" Um, I am fine, and how are you, sir?" asked Little Red. "Oh, I am very good. Where are you going on this beautiful day?" asked the spider. "I am going to my grandmother's house to bring her nectar cupcakes and lemonade. She is not feeling well today," replied Little Red. "Where does your grandmother live?" asked the sneaky spider. "She lives on the other side of the forest, past the flowers and through the trees in the pretty green house," said Little Red. "Well, well, well," said the spider, thinking of the delicious meal he would have of 2 butterflies, nectar cupcakes, and lemonade. "Does your grandmother like flowers?" "Oh, yes, very much," replied Little Red. "I have a wonderful idea. Why don't you stop and pick some beautiful flowers for your grandmother? I'm sure that flowers would help her to feel even better." "That is a wonderful idea, Mr. Spider. I will pick the most beautiful flowers for my grandmother." "Good afternoon, Little Red. I must be on my way," said the spider. The big bad spider had a sneaky plan. As Little Red was picking flowers beside the path, the big bad spider flew through the forest on a thread of silk straight to grandmother's house. "Good day, Mr. Spider, and thank you," called Little Red as she walked to the flowers beside the path and began picking the most beautiful flowers for her grandmother. After she picked the most beautiful flowers, Little Red walked down the path through the trees to her grandmother's house. When the big bad spider got to grandmother's house, he knocked on the door. Grandmother answered. "Who is it?" The big bad spider replied, changing his voice to sound like Little Red. "It is me, Little Red," Grandmother called. "Come inside." The big bad spider ran into grandmother's house. He went into her bedroom and found her in bed. He quickly wrapped grandmother in a cocoon of silk and threw her in the closet. Then he put on grandmother's bathrobe and hat and got right into grandmother's bed and pulled up the covers. After a few moments of rest, the big bad spider heard a knock at the door. Making his voice sound like an old woman's, he asked, "Who is it?" "It is me, Little Red Butterfly," answered Little Red. "Oh, come right in, my dear. I am too weak to stand," said the tricky spider. Little Red walked in and saw Grandmother in bed. "Why, Grandmother," said Little Red, "what strange eyes you have." "The better to see you with, my dear," replied the spider. "Why, Grandmother," said Little Red, "what long legs you have." "The better to walk to you, my dear," replied the spider. "Why, Grandmother," said Little Red, "what big fangs you have." "The better to eat you with, my dear," replied the spider. At that, the big bad spider jumped up and started chasing Little Red around the bed. Little Red ran as fast as she could, but the big bad spider was faster. He grabbed Little Red and quickly wrapped her in a cocoon of silk and threw her in the closet. All of that running around made the big bad spider feel very sleepy, so he crawled back into Grandmother's bed and fell fast asleep and began snoring loudly. Outside Grandmother's house, there was a beehive. The honeybees in the hive were very good friends with Grandmother. The honeybees heard the strange noise coming from Grandmother's house and went in to make sure Grandmother was okay. The honeybees saw the big bad spider asleep in Grandmother's bed. The big bad spider heard the honeybees buzzing above his head and woke up. He was so frightened of the buzzing honeybees that he went flying out of Grandmother's house as fast as his silk could carry him. The honeybees searched Grandmother's house for Grandmother and found her and Little Red in the closet. The honeybees cut open the silk cocoons and let them out. Grandmother and Little Red were so happy to be free. They shared the nectar cupcakes and lemonade with the friendly honeybees. The big bad spider never bothered anyone in the forest again, and Little Red Butterfly, Grandmother, and the honeybees lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed the story today, and I hope to see you again very soon.